Welcome to the Vine Funk Podcast. Yay! Welcome, my friend. Thank you so much for taking time out to hang out with me. I am uber grateful you're here. My name is Wonu Aleshe. And sometimes I do go by Amazing Soul. FCK stands for fun, compassion, and kindness. Now, on the Mindfuck podcast, what we essentially talk about is nervous system regulation, building trust and safety in our bodies, with our brain and our bodies, and also remembering younger parts of ourselves that we may have forgotten along the journey. Now, we have like a mini tradition that we do on the podcast where before each episode, I read a list and I have titled that list Reminders to Being Human. Now, the intention behind reading that list is to remind myself, and also in the hopes of reminding you on your journey. All right. Reminders to being human. Have fun along the journey. Show yourself compassion. Be kind to others. Being complex and being simple can hold true in the same breath. Stay curious. Hold space for pauses. Hold space for not knowing. Never underestimate the power of silence. Nature has a lot of wisdom. Pay attention. There is power in we than I. If nothing else makes sense, come back to love. Pain is our greatest teacher. And the very last one, never underestimate your ripple of existence. Yay! All right, my friend, let's get into the fun part of the show. All right, I want you to picture something simple. You're in your car. Maybe you're driving to the grocery store, or you're heading somewhere you've been 100 times. Nothing dramatic, just a normal day, right? And then something small happens. Someone cuts you off, or someone says something to you, probably a tone, a look, or you get a text message, and suddenly your body reacts. Your chest tightens, your jaw clenches, and your thoughts start to speed up. And before you even realize it, you're not responding anymore. You're reacting. And later, maybe hours later, or even minutes later, you sit with yourself and you think, why did I react like that? That wasn't even that serious. I thought I already grew past this. I want to talk to you about that moment today on the podcast. Because if you've ever felt that, this episode is for you, my friend. Now, let's slow this all the way down because what's happening here is not random. It's not that you haven't grown. It's not that you're going backwards. It's not even that you're broken. No. It's that a part of you that learned how to survive a long time ago is still driving the choices in your life. Right. I want to give you a visual, something simple. Imagine you're driving a car, right? I mean, this current version of yourself, your adult self, is technically in the car, but your younger self is either in the driver's seat or they're in the back seat with no seat belt on, or they're even in the trunk. And when your younger self doesn't feel safe, they do not trust you to drive that car. So your younger self grabs the wheel. Not because your younger self is trying to ruin your life, but because they learned how to keep you alive. The adult version. Now, the only problem with this is your younger self is using old survival skills in a completely different environment. That's the challenge with this. So now you're probably in your 30s or 40s and your life looks completely different. You're safer now, you're grown, you've learned things along the journey, but your body is still reacting like it's back when you were a child. Now, let me bring this into real life, everyday moment. I want you to picture this. You send a message to someone. Maybe it's a friend, maybe it's someone you're dating, or maybe it's even work related, right? And they do not reply. 5 minutes go by, 10 minutes go by, an hour goes by, maybe even 3 hours go by, and suddenly your body starts to feel something. It's not loud, but very subtle, right? There's a sudden tightness in your chest, and there's this quiet thought that comes in your mind, and you tell yourself, did I say something wrong? Why are they not responding to me? Why are they ignoring me? And now your mind starts to build stories. Then you check your phone again and again, and you check your phone again, right? And now you feel irritated or even anxious, or you start pulling away. That moment right there, my friend, that's not your adult self reacting. No, that is your younger self who once learned that silence meant something. Maybe silence meant disconnection. Maybe silence meant rejection. Maybe silence meant unpredictability. So now your body is reacting before logic can catch up. Do you see, my friend? Now, let me give you another real life example. You're home, right? And you're talking to someone, right? And they say something small. It's not even that deep. What they're saying is not that deep. But their tone feels slightly off, right? And instantly, your body reacts and you get very defensive. Or you shut down, or your tone changes, right? And later you think to yourself, that wasn't even a big deal. But in your body, it felt like something bigger. Because the reason why is because your younger self has a memory. Not always a clear memory in your mind, but in your body. Because your body always keeps score of everything happening to you. Now, your body keeps score of moments where tone meant something, where small shift was not safe, where you had to read between the lines to protect yourself, when you were a child. So now your body reacts fast before your adult self can slow things down. It's all protection. Now, I want to pause here because this part is very important. You're not overreacting. No, that's not what's happening. Your body is simply responding based on what it learned as a child years ago. That's what's happening. But that response might not match your current reality anymore. And this is where most people get stuck because they think to themselves, I need to stop reacting. I need to be more disciplined. I need to control myself. No, 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 my friend. It's totally normal reaction. Now, what they do is they try to force change. Now, this is the challenge. You don't force change. But here's what I have learned in my own life. And this took me a really long time to really understand this, right? You don't build trust with your younger self through force. It doesn't work that way. How you build trust with your younger self is through safety, through consistency, through a lot of goddamn patience. Because you're going to need it. Now, let me bring you into my own lived experience. There was a time in my life, especially after leaving the military in 2022, where my body was constantly reacting to everything. I mean, small things felt enormous and gigantic. I mean, if something did not go as planned, my body would immediately tighten. I mean, if I did not hear back from someone, my mind will spiral. I mean, if I felt uncertain in a slightly subtle way, I will try to control everything. That was me 4 years ago. And from the outside, it did not make any logical sense why I was reacting that way because my environment was completely safe. My life had slowed down. I wasn't in a high paced environment like the military anymore. But inside my body, it did not feel that way. Right? And I remember sitting with myself one day, literally just sitting and asking myself, why does this feel so intense? And what I realized was this. My body was still using old survival skills in a new season of my life. And that's when I started to shift something. Instead of trying to fix my reactions, I simply started noticing them. Awareness, my friend. Simple, but it's not easy. Right? Like when my chest would tighten, instead of distracting myself in the moment, I would literally pause and I would just say to myself internally, I am noticing something in my chest right now. No judgment about it. No trying to fix the sensation. No trying to calm the sensation down. None of that. Just noticing what is happening in my body. Sometimes I do it for 30 seconds. Sometimes I can do it for a minute. It depends. And at first, nothing changed. In fact, it felt uncomfortable as fuck. That's the truth when I first started this. Because I wasn't used to staying with myself like that. But over time, doing this consistently, something started to shift. The intensity that I felt in my body real time reduced. The reactions slowed down. And more importantly, my younger self started to feel something new. Not control, not pressure, not force. Safety. Safety is the key word here. And this is the part most people skip, right? Because the truth is, we live in a world that says change fast, fix it now, you gotta be better. That's the world we live in. But your younger self does not respond to pressure. No, Your younger self responds to safety. And safety, my friend, takes time. Safety takes consistency, not intensity. Safety, it takes showing up for yourself in small, everyday moments. That's what safety requires for your younger self to start to trust you. Like when you feel triggered, and instead of reacting immediately, you have the choice to pause. Not perfectly, just a little pause. That's the power of awareness. And that pause, my friend, that's you slowly taking the wheel back. And over time, your younger self starts to trust you and says, okay, maybe I don't have to drive the car of our life anymore, right? But that trust is built, it's not instant. I want you to think about it like this. If your younger self has been driving your life for years, they're not just going to suddenly hand over the wheel. No, just because you decided one day I'm the adult now, right? No, it doesn't work that way, my friend. They're going to watch, they're going to observe you based on your daily actions. And they're going to say to themselves, can I trust you? Are you going to listen to me? Are you going to acknowledge me? Are you going to ignore me? Are you going to force me to be quiet? They're going to observe what you do based on your daily action. And based on that, your younger self either holds tighter to the wheel of your life or they slowly let go. So when you react, it's not a failure, my friend. It's simply feedback, it's simply information. It's your body showing you in real time, hey, something here still feels unsafe. That's it. Information, feedback. And instead of asking yourself, how do I stop this? No, no, no. A more useful question that you can ask yourself is, what is my body trying to protect right now? Or even simpler, can I stay with this feeling for a few seconds? That's it. Because every time you do that, you are giving your system new information. Every fucking time. You're showing your body this moment is different. You're showing your body you are safe now. Not by saying it, no, 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 but by how you show up for yourself. Let's bring this back again to everyday life, right? Next time someone doesn't reply to your message and you feel that tightness in your chest, right? Before you check your phone again and again and again, I want you to choose to pause. Feel your feet on the ground. Look around your physical space and remind your body where you are physically, not in the past, here and now. Or, for example, when someone says something that triggers you and you feel your tone shifting, right? Instead of reacting immediately, take a breath. Even if it's for 1 second, take a deep breath. That 1 second, hmm, that 1 second, my friend, that's a new experience for your body. That's the power of awareness. That's the power of pausing. And those small moments, they add up. Consistency. Over time, that's how you build capacity for your younger self to start to trust you. Not by forcing yourself to be better, no, but by slowly creating safety in moments where you used to react automatically. I will say this, and I want to be very, very honest with you, my friend. This takes time. In my own life, this did not happen overnight. It took years. It took consistency. It took patience. There were days I reacted. There were days I didn't even notice what I was in until after. But over time, the gap between the reaction and the awareness started to get smaller. Do you see, my friend? That's the power of awareness. That's the power of safety. And that gap, that's where your freedom is. That gap right there. Because in that gap, you get to choose. Yes, you have that power to choose. Not from survival, no, but from presence. What's happening in real time? You get to choose. So if you're listening to this, my friend, and you're thinking to yourself, damn, why am I still reacting like my younger self? The answer is simple, right? The reason why you're still reacting like your younger self, because a part of you is still trying to keep you safe. But the invitation today is this. Can you start building enough safety that your younger self no longer has to drive your everyday decisions? Can you show up again and again in small everyday moments with patience, with consistency, with compassion for yourself, so that trust can be built? That's the real question. Because at the end of the day, right, it's your responsibility now. It is. It's not to force change, no. Far from it, but to create the kind of internal environment where your younger self finally feels safe enough to sit in the passenger seat with the seatbelt on and let you, the adult, drive. And when that happens, you will notice something subtle. You will still find yourself in the same situations. That's normal. But your reactions, oof, they start to feel different. That's the power of creating safety. Your reactions become less intense. They become less automatic. They become more spacious. And that's how you know something is updating in your body. Not because you forced the update. No, no, no. But because you stayed, you did not abandon yourself in real time. And if nothing else from this episode stays with you, my friend, let it be this. You're not behind. You are not broken. No. You are just learning how to drive your life with parts of you that may have been trying to protect you for a very fucking long time. That's it. And that kind of trust is built slowly, one micro moment at a time. As always, I want to thank you so much for being here. I want to thank you so much for listening. And I'm sending you so much love from my heart to yours. Thank you.